Hey everybody, my name is Christa.
Kevin.
And we are the husband and wife team behind LCRC Raceway. Go ahead and jump in the comments and say hello if you're here. Thank you for joining us. This is Hump Day Happy Hour, where we hang out on Wednesday nights.
Back in the studio.
We're back in the studio again. Am I the only person that, like, anytime you say something that was once a lyric in a song, that's all I can think about?
I don't even know what song that was from.
I'm back in the saddle again. I can't keep singing because I sound so much like the original artist that they will copyright shut me down.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to give you guys a little heads up of what you have in store before I say hello to our friends in the comments. We are going to make an announcement about our oval race called the Dream Race, which is scheduled for the beginning of August. We're going to lead with that. And then we are going to talk all things Party Rock Race, which was the event that we just had last weekend on the off-road track. And then we're going to talk a little bit about ProTek. It's our next event. Taylor wasn't sure how many days, but it's less than 30. Our 30-day countdown for that one was a couple days before Party Rock. So we're closer. Yeah. Hey, let's say hi. There's never a dull moment. Let's say hello to some of our friends in the comments. I saw that Taylor, of course, was the first comment. You win first comment, Taylor.
You TQ'd comments.
Yay.
Good job.
And there's Shane and Michelle. Thank you guys for hanging out. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Staying cool. Our friend Alex.
Hi, Alex.
There's Tim. There's Robin. Hey, Robin, how are you feeling? Are you feeling better? We missed you at the races on Sunday. Shane says hello.
Hi, Shane.
Hello to Shane.
Tim Pence was on there.
Yeah.
Hi, Tim.
There's Damon and Chad. Hey, Chad. Did you see his son was rocking in novice class? Mm-hmm. Hunter has got it going on. Very good weekend for those guys. And there's my friend Janine. Hi, Janine. I am so sorry we didn't get time to chat while you were here, but it was so good to see you. It was a surprise. And she knew it was Aerosmith, of course.
Yeah, I saw
She
that.
has good taste in music. Oh, man. Shane says, who would I contact to rent a ride for the Dream Race? Well, hang on. Let's talk about it. And there is our friend Jen. Hello. And hopefully a lot better. The doctor called me in good antibiotic. So Robin is feeling better. So that is great.
I wouldn't even know how to spell prednisone, but thankfully I can read it.
Yeah. True story.
Yeah. Hi, P-Word. How's it going?
Yeah.
I got to, air high five you on the way by with the golf cart once. It's about all I saw you last weekend.
Yeah. Okay, without any further ado, we're going to lead things off with a big announcement about our oval race that is the first week in August. And would you like me to lead with that?
Sure.
Okay, so on behalf of Kevin and myself, we would like to let you guys know that unfortunately we have made the decision, the very difficult decision, to cancel the Dream Race in 2025. We certainly did not take this decision lightly. There is a lot of different pieces that play into the decision, and it certainly was not anything we expected or saw coming. Yeah. But really, when you draw down to the bottom line, and we'll tell you more about why we chose this, but the bottom line is, as Kevin said earlier, the Dream Race is supposed to be everything that LCRC has to give. It is about showing you what LCRC is all about with the hospitality, with the camping, with the track, and with the media coverage. And when you come here, it is to give you the presence and everything that we have to give.
Yeah, the next level experience.
That one that you would write home to tell people about, one that you would put in your books every year. We do not have the ability to make that happen this year. And instead of creating a subpar event that isn't what LCRC is about, we've made the decision to cancel that event.
Not easy.
Not an easy decision at all. Would you like to talk a little bit about, most everybody that's on here knows that we lost our roof, and we had to live in a camper for almost 3 months. So that was definitely part of this because we lost a lot of weekends that we had planned on working on the oval and taking it and creating the track again.
So, I mean, we've been through a lot of stuff.
You have to get a little closer to your mic.
We've been through a lot of stuff in our life together. I mean, all kinds of things in life that some expected, some unexpected, right? Mm-hmm. The deal with the shop roof, and it wasn't just the shop roof. It was, we lost our home. We were in the midst of building a new home. Not literally building a new home, but we were, renovating the farmhouse, and, we had a lot going on the side to start with.
Yeah, which we usually do. We keep ourselves very busy.
We do. I describe it as our life is a dumpster fire pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
It's just that most times we have the flames under control, and we roast a hot dog on it every now and then for fun, because that's how we live.
Sure.
And then throw in the disaster.
And really, I think what you were alluding to is there was a lot of navigating a lot of construction workers and contractors and where they were supposed to be, insurance paperwork, just handling that. The insurance and all of that contractor work was a full-time job.
We're burn the candle at both ends. Sometimes they say it's on fire across the whole stick, all the things. And that's just in our normal life.
Sure.
And then throw this extra stuff in where, dude, we didn't have a place to live. We were literally living in the parking lot in a camper, my wife and I and our kid and the dog, and just trying to survive.
Sure.
And there were... listen, we made it through just fine.
We did, and we were able to continue to work and do all of the things, but we weren't working like we usually do.
We were very grateful. We had tremendous support from not just the RC community,
but our community,
our local community, the church community. Everyone was super bend over backwards for us. I'm not complaining about any of that.
No, and we've talked about it a lot.
But it just, Christa started talking about the contractors, and we were going to the farmhouse every day because that's what we wanted. We could push to try to have this, our new home come to fruition before the apartment could get re-inhabitable. And, listen, it's, you don't realize what it takes from within yourself when all of a sudden your family doesn't have a home. So it really created a lot more pressure, and we just dumped every ounce of everything both of us and our family had.
Yeah. And all of our friends that could help.
Yeah, between, Christa's dad, Bob, and even Adeline helping, and, and my mom, and then our contractor friends, and we just dumped everything we had in that farmhouse.
And the way that this all relates back to the Oval and canceling the Dream Race is those were all weeks that if everything was going normal and we had a place to live, that would have all been time that we were rebuilding that Oval. The intention is that we were going to rent a commercial screening machine and screen all of the dirt so that the dirt that would go down on the track, as well as more dirt for the oval track or for the off-road track, would be pristine. The LCRC way, the way we want to do things. Mm-hmm. Another point of contention with the oval race is that that's a financial commitment to rent that commercial screening machine. It's also a time and energy because you pay for the thing basically by the hour. Okay, it's by the day, but you have to be running it as much as possible to make it worthwhile.
That's the thing. The actual upfront money to rent it for the week, it's a lot, but that's not the worst part.
Yeah.
And you can't, even if I full commit, Christa's hey, I'll take care of the kid and life. You just go screen dirt for a week.
Yeah.
And I full commit every ounce of
it's
14,
still not enough
16,
as one
18-hour days. One person can't run that screening machine.
It has to be two.
Minimum of two.
Yeah.
The last time we did it, and if anybody wants to hear the horror story, just ask Cody. Mm-hmm. We were on the racetrack till 4:30 in the morning. 3 of us running 3 pieces of diesel equipment plus the screening machine running.
Yep.
Like we were burning 20 gallons of diesel fuel every hour.
Yeah, I don't remember. I was down there just switching something on the machine, I think. Like, because you had to redirect
when
or
it
something.
would get jammed up, you'd have to have somebody on the ground. Like, I remember that night we pushed so hard.
Yep.
Like, you know, you'd dump the hopper full and go running to get another load and come back and realize that it jammed up.
That's why I was.
Well, then you'd spend 30 minutes in there with a shovel digging it out. Like,
and here's the thing. We're cool with doing that kind of work. We don't mind doing it. Yeah. You know, like that's our shtick. We like to work too hard often. But, you know, if you've ever been in a situation like we've been in, you realize the mental load of that. Yeah. And that you just really, there's not much, just like Janine said, something had to give. And that's exactly it, is that it just, something had to give. So a lot to say that the thing that had to give this year is unfortunately the Dream Race.
Garrett and I have a vision of what the new oval is going to be. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be fantastic. And it is still going to happen. I just don't have the inner, whatever you want to call it. Like, I can't, like, for me to commit to say that I can do it. Well, yeah, I can do it. But it's not going to be to the level to what we're accustomed to.
Well, and this is a really good point, because that is that really brings it down to exactly what it was about. Yeah. It got to the place that every time Kevin and I would look at each other and be like, we have to go get to work on the Dream, we would both be like sick to our stomachs. And that's not how you're supposed to feel about any race. And it wasn't because, you know, we didn't want that race. It was because we both felt like we were falling short. I have done no marketing on it. I have not answered questions the way that I should. I had to put all my energy that I had into keeping the off-road afloat and, you know, inventory management in the house. And by the way, the kid and the dinners and, you know, all those other little things that also happen to be life. So I was putting my energy everywhere there. And I completely dropped the ball on the marketing. So,
well, and that's one of the things where you get kind of sold short because, okay, we didn't get the dirt screen and physically build the track. Mm-hmm. That's obvious.
Yeah.
But like you feel like you fell short, like you didn't put the marketing time in or have the devotion to that. Mm-hmm. And people don't. I don't even fully understand what my wife does and the power she has with the computer and the internet and all the things. But it's a lot. Like the marketing deal, it's not just about making a flyer. It's about scheduling the posts and all that stuff that you do at 5 a.m. in normal life. Mm-hmm. That we haven't had.
We haven't had our normal schedule.
Yeah, like we can't when it comes to like. You know, we used to get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning and come to work for a couple hours before the kid got up and the school bus came and life started. Mm-hmm. And we'd take an hour or so off of work life to do, I'll say, household life, mm-hmm. and then back to work.
Yeah.
You know, we have not had that
in 3 months.
And
I had my first workout this morning in 3 months.
Yeah.
And it felt wonderful. But anyway, the point is we are getting some normalcy back, which is really exciting. We did move into the farmhouse last Wednesday. That is going really, really well. We have very limited furniture. The place is, you know, it's a skeleton of a house because, you know, the walls are all gorgeous, but we don't have a ton of stuff.
It's not a skeleton of a house. It's just a beautiful remodeled old farmhouse that is empty still.
Yes, it is rather empty.
But we're in it. We're in it.
And we have beds
and showers and
one TV, which we just added yesterday. So that was interesting. We don't have it hooked to anything, but it's there.
No internet. Yeah. We're just streaming off our phone.
Oh. I want to say hi to Danny, who's in the comments, and thank Alex, who said gives him a year to rebuild. Janine said that the race next year will be awesome and will kick ass, which it will. Because we promise we'll take every bit of energy we save up. Yeah. And then when we do come back.
This is not, we're not doing oval or we're giving up or any of that. This is,
We need a minute.
We need a minute because we 2025's dream was us doubling down on reinventing dirt oval at LCRC in the next level way, and we're not giving up on that. We are again full committed to doing it.
Yeah.
It's just that we need a minute to do it our way.
Yeah. We took Taylor and Alex to show them the house. They said the pictures don't do it justice. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much. It is definitely, it's everything I ever wanted. I still walk around and feel like it's a dream house. And now we're doing the little finishing touches stuff. We added some lights and things that just feels really fun every little step of the way. So that's really cool.
And the apartment is potentially by Friday could be inhabitable again.
Yes.
So that's coming around. It's amazing how 8 seconds can completely alter your life's plan.
Yep.
I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have words. Like you have, and I'm sure many of you have lived through
something.
Something like this, but we never had. I go back to when it happened, and I'm still trying to tighten my belt from putting my work pants back on, running out into the hallway from the bedroom, and the girls are screaming going downstairs, and I
was not screaming. I was being very calm and collected.
I meet Bob in the hallway, and Bob goes, "What's your plan?" I'm like, I don't have a plan, Bob. Like, well, you always have a plan. It's like, well, never had the roof blow off before. Like, it was something that you can't fathom how to deal with it all until it hits you.
Yep.
And it took a lot out of us as a household, as a family.
It did.
And I really feel like we're regrouped.
We are.
And we're headed in the right direction.
We are.
But unfortunately, that time lost is really the time that
exactly
we would have devoted to the dream.
Exactly. So if anybody has any questions about the dreams cancellation or anything, I'm going to cut this part of the video out and post it tomorrow as an official announcement of the cancellation so that it'll be out there for the Oval guys to share around the community and make sure everybody gets the word. I'll also go on to the event page on the website and mark that canceled as well. We wanted to let you know as soon as possible. We thought that for a second that maybe we should hold out and just see if we could rally now that we've moved in the house. But that's not fair for people that have hotel reservations or are, planning that weekend blocked off. So we felt like we had to make a decision right away, and that's where we came to this decision now. Garrett says, looking forward to sticking with you guys in the future. I extremely enjoy working with you guys, and I'm excited to help make the dream must-make event. Yes, thanks, Garrett. We appreciate your support. We're definitely going to be back to do this in the future. So just a year off, and then we're back in business again.
I know, like, working with Garrett, he has the same passion that we do.
Of course, okay? Yeah.
And he understands. Like, he's worked with us a couple times now, and we don't take this kind of stuff lightly. Like it Christa's age-old saying of we say what we do what we say. Yeah. And when we say we're going to put on the dream race, like we want to offer the product that is
advertised.
It's a dream. Like,
yep. It's what's advertised.
It's sunshine, rainbows, unicorns, and the whole bit.
That's like, right.
Wow. And we just don't. Unfortunately, right now, I just don't feel like we have we just don't have the ability to provide that.
Yeah. Hey, let's move on and talk, not to Surrey, wow, but let's move on and talk about the Party Rock Race. An excellent event here this past weekend, off-road event. It was another record-breaking event. The most we had ever had at a Party Rock Race was 277 entries, and this one was 344. 3:45.
We started at 3:41, and I think we ended at 3:45.
I think it was 3:45.
Yeah.
So anyway, record-breaking event.
Yeah, pretty wild.
It was hot. Leading into the event, it was rain. Rain.
Yeah, for like 10 days straight.
Yeah, so we had to cancel practice before the event, the Thursday practice.
Thursday. Yeah.
Which I think went fine. There were still a lot of people here on Thursday.
Yeah. I know everyone was antsy. Well, first of all, we give them a month. And then they can't wait to come back, and everyone wants to come hang out. And they all knew we were canceling practice on Thursday, and they still came
hang out
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well,
and I realized too, part of what they're coming for, and something that, especially if you're able to come on a Thursday, this is something you can look forward to, is if you need wrenching help, if you're looking for parts and you just need somebody to help you shop a little bit, Thursday and Friday are the best days for that because it's Kevin and I in the hobby shop most of the day. So if you're looking for a little bit more technical help, I mean, Kendall will help you and she'll be very sweet to you, but she has admitted she is not going to be the person looking or knowing how to help you set up your car. You better kind of know your part number. Yeah. And that's cool, and we love Kendall for that. She keeps us going all weekend long, and if she can try to help you find a part number, by golly, she does everything she can. Yeah. But if you're looking for technical help, Thursday is a great day for that.
Yeah, and like on a weekend like last weekend where no one was on track on Thursday. The brand kingpins are outside sitting, tinkering with their stuff, and hanging out. And if you come in and you're sort of newbie or need some setup advice or something, and you ask questions that we can't answer in a hobby shop, I can take you outside and lead you to the kingpin of your brand. Get you fixed up. And
Adam Drake is in the comments. Hi, Adam. Unfortunately, he's here for the dirt oval information, and the information is no dirt oval in 2025.
Yeah, I knew this was going to happen. Yeah, sorry, buddy.
Please listen, you're on the internet, so now you can't cancel coming to the Mugen Challenge just because there's no oval racing. So because all of the internet can see this and know that you were planning to come before that. Rob says, I want to thank Kevin for not cracking me over the head with his Fulcrum wrench.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. There's Zach Wright. Hello to you. Thanks for hanging out. So then we got to practice on Friday morning pretty early, which it was funny because there was a big rainstorm last minute on Thursday night.
Place was soaking wet, and man, we almost could have put the pipe down Wednesday night, but then there's a couple super wet spots still, so we elected not to, and then it rained again Wednesday night, right? So then Thursday, we waited all day, and at 5, we go out and we put the pipe down. Man, track's runnable.
Yeah.
And a couple guys are like, hey, you got the pipe down by 6:30. Can we practice for an hour and a half? I'm like, no. We already publicly announced that, practice was canceled, so...
And just about that time.
I can't let anybody practice. And just about that time.
It starts pouring down rain.
Yeah. And then, luckily, it was just enough, but not too much that, Friday morning, we were able... I think we got one bag of sawdust out and used just a wee bit in a couple spots on the track, and then we did dump the rest over in the water pipe exit over by the old Daytona turn, just to dry up a puddle. And, it worked out. And I know there was some guys that were upset that we were watering so much on Saturday because, we washed the groove away a couple times. But if we hadn't done that, because the Easy Bake Oven was on so hot, by Sunday the track would have been falling apart. So we got to noon on Sunday and quit watering the groove, and I think we only watered the fluff once or twice after that. And by the A mains I mean, the track was grooved up. It wasn't Thornhill Eaton tires, but it was LCRC Eaton tires.
Yeah,
you know,
it was.
Yeah. So,
hey, I just want to recap real quick for anyone that is just joining us. We led tonight's talk by letting you guys know that unfortunately we made the very difficult decision to cancel this year's The Dream Race. That is because we tore the oval track out and we do not have the ability at this time to rebuild that track. So unfortunately, no oval racing in 2025, but we will be back and better than ever in 2026. So if you want, we're going to post the clip of all of the information about that tomorrow, so that if you're looking for more information on why we came to that decision, that'll be posted tomorrow.
And that also does mean there'll be no 8-scale nitro late model.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
We're
going to find something
September.
fun. Maybe that's when we do that pit crew challenge that we've talked about.
Maybe.
We'll do that instead of the dirt oval. Hey, Dave, thank you so much for coming to your first off-road race. It was so nice to have you here. He said watering the track didn't affect me. I can't stay in the groove anyway. That's
Same.
great. Yeah, no, we understand. But thanks for coming. I hope you had a great time. Yeah, so that was good. We did, the band. Friday night, we did the social event.
Hillbilly Diesel.
Hillbilly Diesel was here. They did a fantastic job. And then we did a cornhole tournament, which was super fun. Lots of people were participating in that, so it was great.
So, speaking of natural disasters or things you don't see coming, you told me about Rob Schaefer's community getting hit.
I saw in his comments. So the town that Rob Schaefer is from was hit by a tornado, which unfortunately took 3 members of their community, killed 3 members. So we're thinking of them. He says that they're slowly getting back to normal and pull through. He said he got power back, but he sustained some damage, and there was a lot of horrible damage in that area. So, Rob, if there is anything that the RC community can do, we are absolutely here for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Mike says the track was perfect.
Yeah, I thought it turned out, very well in the end. I mean, Saturday, the groove kind of came and went, and that's when we were kind of catching a little flack from a couple guys. But
I think it was good.
But no, I like to keep it held together so that come Sunday afternoon we can let it run to where it grooves up and is really good.
Yeah.
So.
The Samojis and the Jarosinskis both said that they love the band, so that's awesome. I thought that they were a great band. They didn't understand RC, so there was a couple things, but the music was fantastic, and I really enjoyed as many of you in the RC community coming out and supporting that and hanging out. So that was really cool. Brock Garris, the Garris family was boogie woogieing. For sure. That was fun. Really cool. P-Word says it was another awesome layout.
Thanks.
Alex said, I'm the same way. If they watered the pipes, then I wouldn't have traction because that's where I am the most. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah.
Roger
and
that.
Kevin's can take a little credit for this layout. This layout was mostly your design.
Yeah, it's one of the first times in quite a few years that it was the majority of my brainchild, not Cody's. So yeah.
And Cody, Kevin, even if Kevin has some ideas in it, he will usually bow out and give, but he really was the brainchild behind this one, and it's a good layout.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think I had the original idea for the Dragon's Back uphill stair step thing. I didn't really envision it ending up like it did because I left Cody determine the size of the jumps and how close they were. I just did what he wanted going up the hill. And I remember when he painted it out, I'm like, that's awful close. And then he's like, more dirt. And they were big. And I'm like, I don't know. But it turned out pretty cool. It was super racy.
Got more character throughout the weekend.
It really didn't, though.
Just a little bit.
It didn't blow out.
No. Just that very top one on the inside.
Yeah.
You just, listen, when I say I developed character, you just couldn't go in full tilt. You had to be careful.
100%. And I think the reason that it held up like it did, like normally like whoops timing jumps like that, they get all kinds of puck holes in them and they blow out. But that one, the footprint underneath it was all fresh jump dirt, we'll call it.
Yeah.
And then obviously the jumps on top.
Yeah.
So when it rolled together, it all knit real nice and it held up very well. And I mean, ultimately in the end, it was a good test. You know, we've never done an obstacle like that before, and the goal was to try that in hopes to recreate something similar for Mugen Challenge.
Yeah.
And Cody and I have already been talking. We're gonna. It's not gonna be the same. It's not gonna be the same place. It's not gonna be the same obstacle. But we are going to recreate that obstacle in a different location.
Cool.
In a very similar fashion.
Rob said it flows very nice. Dominic even said the layout was fun.
Oh, wow.
The Simoji said that people were banging down the turn 2 wall.
Yeah, I'm not...
Because of the high speed around there?
I guess. I don't know. I mean, again, so... Dennis, this is your fault. This kind of stuff gives me a headache. 2025 was supposed to be the year that we redid the whole start straightaway wall. Mm-hmm. Like the whole wall around turn 1, turn 2. Mm-hmm. Again, because we were going to screen all that soil, rebuild the oval, and bring what was left over to the off-road. And then we were going to replane, like, basically the start straightaway wall. Like right now, if you run a string around it, it does a lot of didos and isn't like, right?
Yeah.
So I've been making Shane hold up on fixing that wall or rebuilding it because, no, listen, we're just be patient. When we get this dirt screened,
we were going to tear down the wall to be able to get the machinery over there.
We're going to take the whole wall out. We're going to rebuild all of that and blah, blah, blah.
And now here we are.
Well, now we're going to still be stuck with the same piece of crap wall for Mugen Challenge. But, hey, you know, a little fresh paint, a couple more grade stakes, and a couple 2x4s, whatever.
It'll be okay.
Whatever.
Dave said that he thought that section was going to be a problem, but he did really well. Owen said he just couldn't quite figure out the staircase, but he got through it most of the time. That's a good point, actually. Dominic said no anthills for Mugen. Joe and Jordan both enjoyed the layout, and so did Chad. Shane said that it was a faster layout, needed to turn up my boost, and never did. Oh, yeah. And then Dave said turn 2 looked like it could carry more speed. I was on the wall a couple times. Yeah. Yeah, well. Yeah. It's part of it.
So one of the things for Mugen Challenge, we don't get to run the straightaway as fast as some of their layouts, because for Mugen Challenge we always try to incorporate at the end of pit road, we turn back in to the heart of the layout, so we have at least 2 turns minimum, and then back out by the equipment entrance so that we have the quick outlap, because that's one of the things that keeps the program rolling for Mugen Challenge is we don't waste that extra minute waiting for someone that took the clock late to finish and get off the track. So
yeah, it's very smart that you guys do that.
Yeah, listen, for the timeliness of running that event, we have to.
Rob is trying to explain. He said he wasn't complaining about turn 2, just saying that people were using the wall. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
No, we didn't take that as complaining.
No.
We saw it too. There were some people that bailed over the wall. We saw that too. And that's part of it.
Adeline and Cody both.
Yeah. I mean,
did you see Shane? Cody went out over the wall in the truck B main, and Shane obviously was in turn 2. And grabbed the truck from out in the stones by the mechanics walk and was running up the hill out back to put the truck back in, and Shane went to fall on his face.
Oh no.
And falling on his face hucked Cody's truck, hoping it would make it up in.
Did it?
No.
Oh.
Neither chain.
Oh.
They both went out of sight again. Next thing you know, you see Shane coming back up over the hill with Cody's truck.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's...
Yeah, no, and the only thing that I will say that was not great timing on that layout being in place for that weekend is it was so hot, and then having such a high speed area with the nitro motors. That we had some sad nitro motors this weekend.
I really don't.
People ask for it though; they like that.
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword.
It is. So. Anyway, in the end, it was good. It was good. Saturday ended up going really well. We cut down to 2 rounds.
So I had a couple of people ask me about. Well, I mean, we were done at 8:30, 9 o'clock. Well, we could have ran 3 rounds. If we would have ran 3 rounds of 5-minute, we would not have been done on the timetable until 11:57.
Yeah.
Which in reality means we wouldn't have been done till like 12:30. So I'm not racing till midnight anymore.
No.
I'm not doing it.
And I know that some people think that they want that. But the first time that we do it again in a weekend setting like what we're doing, they will not be. Yeah. Shane just said Cody never lost a position when all of that happened. Wow.
He may not have.
That's some talent there, Shane. Man.
So when was it Northeast Showdown? One of them we had some issues Saturday that we unforeseen, we couldn't handle, and we ended up racing to like 11:30.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
It wasn't our choice. Like we didn't. It stuff happened and we had to do it.
Yep.
Okay. We'll strap up and get her done. But when it comes to like we're choosing to do that, I'm not choosing to do that anymore. Like it makes everyone miserable.
Yeah. Dominic says the intermediate mains being back to back was annoying. No time to make a last minute tire change or setup.
Okay, so I'll rebuttal that as well. It's kind of like, I don't want to say complaining about the layout, but until you've sat in the booth at 10, 11 o'clock Saturday night and tried to set up the mains and figure out the race order and back-to-backs and shuffling race order,
something
and
has to
shuffling
give.
a race order, and shuffling a race order, until you've sat and done that, unfortunately, you kind of forfeit the right to complain about the order, because I'm here to tell you that is one of the most difficult tasks in promoting
racing.
the entire event.
Yeah, but and it's in every type of racing. If there's a class order that changes, it is very difficult to do that.
You can't like. I don't know how to explain it to you without long storying and rambling on, but I'm telling you, we absolutely work as hard as we can to make that the best order possible.
And I will say, here's the other thing. This time, maybe intermediate did have you pulled the short straw, okay? But you know what? That's more fair than the plus 40 guys pulling the short straw every time. Or something has to give somewhere, and it shouldn't always be the same class every time.
I'm not going to lie. We don't look at that ever. Like, we don't think, oh, at the last race, so-and-so ran back-to-back. It's way more difficult than that. Like, because everybody runs so many classes, and they're not always consistent. Like, it's so hard to, like, please everyone or take care of everybody. And I assure you that we make our best attempt to do everything we can to do that.
Ron G says he never plans on doing 3 rounds. Mike says, I'm sure there are more people that would be glad to get the racing done while the sun is still up versus being under the lights. I hear more people say they can't see under the lights, and then someone saying they were mad about 2 calls. Totally. I absolutely agree with you.
I actually did get more thankfuls for being done in the daylight than I did, why didn't we run 3 rounds? I did get that.
So Dave, as a newer one to LCRC, he said, I thought 2 rounds of qualifying was good personally, especially having to get back early on Sunday for mains. Absolutely. If somebody is in the A main and it's the last race of the day and they're not going to race until 4 o'clock, then they don't care about racing late. But how about that guy that's got to race late and then get back here at 6 o'clock in the morning for a Mugen Challenge for his main?
So that was another error that we made for this race. And this goes back to Christa and I months ago when we put the flyer out for the June race. Well, we only have 200 some entries in June. It'll be hot. We're going to take it easy. We don't need to start before 9. It'll be nice. And then we have 340 entries. And
yeah, it was just unexpected.
All of a sudden starting at 9.
If you look back historically, which we do before we sit down and make any decisions about flyers, historically June and July are our slowest races. They're the most unattended. We find that most people are on different vacations or they're doing other things. They have graduations or parties or whatever. And so June and July have historically, for as many years as we've been doing this, been our lowest entries of the year. And so we planned for a low entry event, and we were blessed by getting so many entries.
So with that being said, do we need to look forward to the ProTek flyer?
Yeah, we might need to readjust that. Yeah.
Because
do you want to write that on our notepad?
So back to the 11:57, 3 5-minute rounds. We started at 9. If we would have started, if we would have had the driver's meeting at 8 instead of 9, and that meant we were finishing at 10:57 for 3 rounds rather than 11:57. I'm not going to say we would have went for it, but there's a chance we would have went for it. We would have looked like, Alex and Cody and Taylor and I would have kind of talked about it and tried to
yeah, I get it.
Maybe if we tighten it up and
can
we do it?
Yeah.
Where when it says 11:57 right off the bat, it's just
everybody
there's no way
agrees that was a good idea. I missed a comment here I wanted to read. Sheen Yoder, what's your game plan for ProTek? If you have high entries, are you doing 1 round of qualifying and then sprint races on Saturday? Okay, so they don't call those sprint, but what's the ProTek, the Super Cup round? But so that's what we had to do last year, was 1 round of qualifying, and then we did the ProTek
Super Cup.
Oh, sorry, Super Cup.
We do Super Cup round.
Then Super Cup round. So yeah, that's a possibility, Shane. It all depends on the entries. We're going to figure it out when we know how many entries we have.
Yeah, we do that event. Again, back to the timetable. We figure out how long it will take to run a main round, which is the Super Cup round. And then we'll back up and see how much time is left on Saturday. If we can run 2 rounds of qualifying and then run Super Cup, we will. But the biggest problem there is that Super Cup round, I think they're a minimum of 10 minutes because that's part of the appeal to that whole gig.
You get more drive time.
So the round 1 of qualifying or seeding or whatever you want to call it before Super Cup is like normal qualifying times, but then the Super Cup round, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I think they're like 10 minutes across the board. Well, that
it makes it difficult.
That adds her up.
But it's a special event.
Yeah.
It worked out really well last year, so we'll roll with it. It works out.
It's an administrative nightmare in the booth because the software is not prepared to do the scoring the way we want.
Yeah, so we have to manually do a lot of that.
Yeah, we basically run an entire RC event on Saturday and then print the results, and then we have to turn around and re-key enter all the results from Saturday night.
do that this time.
Yeah, and it takes a hot minute.
It does.
It's a little bit of effort.
A couple people in the comments were saying that 2 rounds were the right call, but maybe a 2-hour practice afterwards. I'd say we probably wouldn't do that because it would keep our staff on site for that extra 2 hours. They work really hard, and if I have the opportunity to get them out of here, I'm not going to keep them around just to run practice. Also, if the practice that you were doing would actually help you on Sunday, it would be a different situation. But that practice that you would get on Saturday night under the lights is not going to prepare you in any way for the type of racing you're going to have on Sunday. The track will be completely different. I appreciate the idea as a racer, and like it seems like, oh, that's kind of a no-brainer. Just open up the track for practice. But with enough entries that you have to police them going on and off the stand.
So back to why we want to be done by 10, right? We want the racetrack to be done racing by 10 because it takes us, not always a full 2 hours, but to set up the mains and get them posted and announce the start time, that's just the administration in the booth.
Yeah.
What you don't realize is that Shane and usually Zach Luke and now Taylor's helping. Those guys are out there for easily an hour to 2 hours on Saturday night after the last qualifying race is over, fixing the pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Not just done. Painting the grid, but stepping off the grid and making sure that first place has a couple extra feet over second, and second has an extra foot or two over third, and then third through 13th are evenly spaced. And dude, it's so much goes into this on the back end that people don't even know.
Yeah. That
there are multiple reasons why we do the things we do and make the decisions that we do.
And we've thought it through. Taylor says advertise the 8 a.m. start for ProTek. I'm looking now. Saturday. We have drivers meeting at 8:30 right now, so we might move that up.
Yeah.
So look for a change to the ProTek start time, just to prepare, because I think, like Samoji said, we built it and now they will come.
Yeah.
Especially this particular event. The amount of giveaways that ProTek is providing for this, we already have them on site. It's 3 big boxes of the best stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be making some videos of those in the coming weeks and sharing all the cool stuff that's going to be up for grabs. Everybody will get a gift when they come sign up, 1 per racer. So, just fantastic support by ProTek.
Thousands of dollars worth of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's insane.
And then this special format is really cool. Just like Shane said, I'm going to read what his comment is. He said, I love the ProTek race personally. Better make sure your equipment is ready to run and see who has the nerves to push it for one qualifier or be a Sunday driver and play it safe. Yeah, totally. Alex Schultz says, starting around 8, it would have been more like 11:30 p.m., including getting marshals on and off for a third time, especially considering the heat. Everyone was moving as fast as they could to begin with. You made the right decision. Yeah.
Listen, it's everybody wants more track time until it's 11, 11:30, 11:45, 12 o'clock, and everybody's like, can't wait to be done,
Yeah. The cool thing is, I really appreciate you guys all supporting that and letting us know that, hey, I prefer that. Brian jumped on and said that he likes it too.
He said 10:57 still a tough finish.
Yeah, and I totally agree. Yeah. I like hearing that though, because sometimes when we're making these tough calls, just knowing that these racers are thinking the way that we think that they're thinking is what it comes down to, because we think you don't want to be.
Not to mention, like Brian would understand this more than some other ones that don't see the back end stuff. As soon as the sun goes down, the AM radio waves go crazy in the atmosphere, which
can mess with
sounds
the
like no big deal, except that the transponders speak to the scoring loop on a frequency that is very close to AM radio.
Yeah.
So when the AM radio waves go nuts when the sun goes down, the noise levels go up, and then all of a sudden you start missing laps, and it just it's a mess.
Totally. I want to say hi to Kevin Swint. He jumped on late, but don't worry, guys. He's going to go watch what he missed to make sure he's up to date. So, yeah. Super fun. So back to wrap up Party Rock. I just thought that Sunday went extremely well. I spent a lot of time on the camera on Sunday, and I got to see some really fantastic racing. I was making notes of my favorite races, and I think like 14 through 18 were like all my favorites. There was just there was a lot of great racing right in a row.
When you route off, you're like, oh, it was like 14, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah, it was like there was a big line of them. But there was some great racing. And I love when it's interesting like that. Those lower mains for me are, and like the Battle of the Bump, to see who bumps up through. Ryland Fear was bumping all day long. He had some trouble on Saturday, so he got to play the bump game for quite a few times in multiple classes, so that was fun to watch. Braden Benner had a heartbreaker, and two races in a row, or not in a row, but really close, that were both like highly contentious events. It was fun to watch.
I was kind of co-calling a couple of them, I think. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And Mike Malone says, race 14 and 15. Yeah, totally. Oh my gosh, they were fun to watch.
Thomas Kaufman showed up and tried to play the bump game in E-Truck and broke out like a lap or two in.
Oh, yeah.
And then flipped over and ran E-Buggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and broke out of that too.
I know.
2 speed controls.
Did you see that Ezra Korrick broke a shock in his race? And he was in the bump spot, and he lost one position trying to finish this race with his broken shock. Oh, I was like, so now you want to get like the video of Ezra versus Thomas in there.
I'm sure it's not funny to Thomas, and I'm not poking fun, but at the end of the day, I bumped into him and I said, so how much did it cost you per lap today? He's like, about $350.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful. I feel bad for you.
Sorry. Mike Egelberger was interested to know about the AM radio waves and stuff. If you sometime talk Kevin about that in person when I'm not around, because the science and stuff is.
So when I say,
no, I did not mean to make you keep talking about it.
We had an RC guy that is literally
mad scientist.
Yeah, he works for Penn State. He's an insane, like, geeky engineer guy. And long story short, he took transponders and decoders and loops and stuff to Penn State, and they did some tests.
Yeah.
And brought back a 26-page dissertation that blew Brandon Rohde's mind. At the time, he wasn't even aware of that information. Brandon's the guy from Live RC.
Yeah.
Mike, if you email me and I find the time to dig it up, I will forward you the email with that report in it, and I promise you it will blow your mind.
Yeah.
It's insane the amount of data that's in that report.
Pretty wild. Mike Malone said he got that double bump in his first A main. That's so awesome. Sweet. Congratulations. There's nothing like your first time. Rob says AM, why not Bluetooth? I never knew it was AM frequency. Yeah, it's
it comes down to them competing, or I shouldn't say them competing. It comes down to AMB, which we now know as MyLaps. The new competition came on board, like the black ones. Help me out. What are the
AMB or
no, the little black ones. Crud. The copycat transponders that don't actually have the number printed on them.
Just skip it.
When that company came out with transponders, they figured out how to make them work on the MyLaps system. So then MyLaps was mad, so they went and figured out how to cut them off and not let them work anymore.
Okay. So Shane Lauk says, here's the bottom line. You guys own and run a great facility that has now a record-breaking entry counts for the first 3 races of the season. You guys make the tough choices, and we will all just show up and race. Thank you. Appreciate that. I appreciate you guys trusting us, honestly. Dominic says $33 a lap if you count the ESCs. Oh, no.
Yes, he lost his speaking from both cars.
That hurts. That hurts a lot.
Yeah, it was sad. I wasn't poking fun. I was like, that sucks kind of thing.
Yeah. Owen says, I was surprised when I went 13th to battling with Braden for the bump until I broke off the Supercross. Yeah, Owen, did you get a chance to go in and watch your video? There was some good footage of that battle. That was pretty cool. Sorry that it was a heartbreaker for you in the end.
You did well, though.
Yeah, science with Kevin.
MRT.
MRT.
Yeah.
See, I said A and B, but I knew it was letters.
Yeah. I have no idea how I couldn't think of that. But yeah thanks.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's who was, I forget what we were talking about last weekend several different times. Like there's only when your phone comes up and says out of storage, right?
Yeah.
And you got to dump stuff. And you got to pick and choose. Mm-hmm. Or you just go buy a new phone with bigger storage or whatever. Well, this built-in thing I got,
it's running out.
I'm out of storage. Like I can't.
Gotcha.
And you can't go back and choose what you want to delete. Like it just doesn't.
You forget MRT. Anyway, so that was pretty cool. We're really excited. So what was the race of the weekend? I can't choose, Rob. I'm telling you, I'm using my phone right now for a camera, but there were 4 races in a row. I believe it was 14, 15, 16, and 17 that were all my favorites. I did not do all the A-mains. Some of the Nitro A-mains Toby did, and I took a break, so I didn't watch those races. So maybe they were the race of the weekend, but I only choose out of the ones that I'm videoing because I'm watching every single lap and really focusing on that race. And I think from 14 to 17, I'm pretty sure we're the ones that were just awesome. Dennis says, you guys are the king and the queen of the North. I'll take it. King and queen of the North. Add that to my gravestone. Oh, man.
Listen, we're very fortunate in the people that we've been graced to have surround ourselves with over the years, and yes, we work very hard at this and we're very good at what we do, but a large portion of that is due to the people that we've been lucky to have surrounding us.
100%.
Yeah.
I've talked about this quite a bit lately, but I have this phrase I always go back to about if you're not excited, you're not invited. Mm-hmm. We want racers. I think that the community of racers that come to LCRC cultivate the community of racers that come to LCRC.
No,
so
for sure.
Because we're not into fighting, because we're not into taking it too seriously, because we're into camaraderie and helping each other and set up advice and trying to, all of those things, if you're not into that, you're not invited. Yeah. Because that is what this is, and I think that's why this is growing. Because when you come to LCRC, you can come one guy that likes toy cars, but you're going to leave with friends.
Yeah. Can I?
I guess.
So when Christa radios me and says, "Hey, where are you? Can you come to the store? I need help. There's a new guy here that needs a place to go." Mm-hmm. Okay, yep, be right there. So I come around front. I'm like, "You the guy?" Yeah. I'm like, I always put my foot in my mouth with the lead sentence. I'm like, "So do you have any friends?" Like, because I'm thinking like, do you have any RC friends, right? And I always say, "Do you have any friends?"
No.
And if you could see the look on these people's faces,
why
like
would you ask
most
that?
of the time are like, "Well, no, not really here, but yeah, I mean I have friends." And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Like, your local track. Do you have guys that you race with weekly or monthly that might be here? Do you have a particular brand that you want to be around? Like, where do you want to be?
And then we find him a friend.
and the one that comes to my mind, I'm so sorry I cannot remember the guy's name, but we're standing out right in front of the store on the sidewalk, and he's like, oh, yeah, well, I'm like, well, what's your local track? He's like, oh, I'm from New York, and well, I'm like, so, like, making tracks? So he's like, yeah. And I look over, I'm like, how about that guy? Old Kenny Thompson right out front, right? Because Taylor and him, those guys run making. I'm like, do you know Kenny Thompson? And he looks over, he goes, I know that guy. And I'm like,
I do have a friend.
I'm like, well, come on, let's go over there. Because there just happened to be some extra room in the front yard over there. And I said, Kenny. And Kenny looked up. He's like, oh, hey. And he hollered that guy's name out. And next thing you know, they were, jibber-jabbering and carrying on.
That's what
and
it's all about.
then they hung out all weekend.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I want to spotlight a couple of the comments. Race 20 was good. I'll have to go back and watch that one. And then Taylor says that Pro Nitro Buggy, Jamie versus Sousa battle was good to the end. Awesome. I'll have to watch that one too. And Shane Yoder says that to Shane Laux, I think, that you brought the heat in your e-truggy race this weekend. Holy smokes, you were flying. That's nice. So very cool. And Shane said thank you. Alex says, it was my first time at LCRC and was one of the best run events I have ever been to. You and the team did an outstanding job. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate you coming. And then Mike Barkus, amazing time. Oh, this weekend, always feel so welcome at your place. Same as my daughter. Oh, yeah, Harley is very special. Very comfortable place to be and enjoying the weekend. Racing with friends and family. I did notice a lot more stomping, yelling, and cursing on the stand this weekend, though. Yeah, I know.
So that's another thing. We're to the point now where, again, we're trying to provide such a clean and calm, nice, polite atmosphere. We're going to have to up the entry fee because I'm going to have to hire 2 more people to strictly just referee the driver's stand. I go do it sometimes.
Yeah.
But the problem is I can only stand on one end of the driver's stand. So then I police that end, and they're like, oh, so-and-so was way over there doing... It takes 2 people to police the driver's stand.
Yeah.
And I'm to the point to where we're soon going we're gonna have to have 2 hired people standing on the driver's stand.
Well, so I've made this statement a couple times about the hobby shop. We have had theft in the past, and so I always ask people when they come shop, like, hey, can you just be vigilant and, like, if you're shopping around, just kind of keep an eye on the guy that's next to you, especially during these race weekends. We do the best that we can, but like
the guy that's pushing one tie rod out of the bag.
Oh, don't tell them those ideas. Anyway, so if you could, whenever you're shopping in the store, if you could just keep an eye on either side, that's what we need. We need everybody to just look out for each other. Same thing on the stand. You know what? If that guy's losing his mind,
copy that, Cody.
Like maybe, hey, that's not cool.
Yeah.
That's not cool. That's not what this is about. And I don't know. I mean, you're right. We need to, honestly, it needs to be me up there because you know what you do not want is Christa tapping on your shoulder. Yeah. Well, because also it's like your mother. Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm not mad at you. I am rather disappointed in you, son.
Do you know who else you don't want tapping you on the shoulder?
Who?
Cody Sainer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, Cody, it's you and me, buddy. Because then if they try to lip back to me, I'll be like, hold on. And have Cody come over. God, that would be fun. Oh, honestly, that could be date night for Cody and Hunter because Hunter would be really good at it, too. She could be like, oh, my gosh, I cannot believe you. Could you just imagine her? Like, oh, my gosh.
Snapping him on the back of the knee. Like, really?
Yeah. Shane says just get a new person to water the track. Taylor is built like a silverback gorilla. Pretty sure his
Well, I'm pretty sure Cody has relinquished the watering duties to Taylor. So now Cody's going to be free for driver stand security.
Yeah. Hey, Mike Malone just asked when we're going to see the updated point standings, and I was wondering the same thing. By the way, guys, did Did you see the videos that I put out of the points leaders? That's something I hope to continue to do. We'll spotlight the drivers that are in the points lead for the LCRC Points Series. Do a little bit of a video highlight on those at every event.
We're officially halfway.
Yes, we are. So, yeah,
Crazy.
very cool. So I would say probably by Friday we could probably expect to see points standings.
I'm not working in the shop tomorrow because I'm trying to get a few more things done at the house.
And we're trying to take a little bit of time off.
Yeah. I am planning on being here a fair amount on Friday. So, yeah, I'll try and go out and get logged in. And
hey, that's it. It's 9:05. So
where did time go?
Where did the time go? We had so much fun hanging out with you guys that we couldn't stop talking. As always, thank you so much for your support of LCRC. It is what it is because of you guys. And thanks for hanging out with us on Wednesdays and engaging us in the comments. It makes it so much more fun when you guys are talking like this and, shaping the conversation. So I love it. I appreciate you guys very much. And that's it for us tonight.
Yeah. Couple things real quick in closing. The points will pop up on Facebook as soon as I update them and give them to my lovely wife, and she'll push them all the places they need to go. I'm very grateful. Listen, we've always had the best crew, and I don't know how, but yet week or month after month, it just gets better and better and better, and you guys are killing it. You know who you are, and I am so grateful from the bottom of my heart to all y'all for, wow. It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Love it.
Awesome.